Please say our pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're placing the bets on you.
Tried the door for you.
Brad never gave up on you.
Had your back.
I want to see that in a minute. I'm the only one that said she's not going to be doing it.
I think.
We'll have to go to the video, see if she actually cleared the doorway. Welcome to tonight's meeting, April 26, 2022. Tonight's meeting will be conducted in accordance with the Open Meetings Act, a copy of which is posted back there on the wall. First item of business, approval of the minutes held on April 12th, 2022 as printed. Any comments, questions, corrections? Anything anybody saw? If not, is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion by Radcliffe, second by Sherman. Roll call.
Ellinger,
Yes.
Sherman,
Yes.
Galloway,
Yes.
Radcliffe,
Yes.
Olson.
Yes.
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Item number 3, comments by the public. If there's anybody that wishes to speak to anything other than Michael.
Good evening, Council. Mike Palmer, Electric Department. Just wanted to inform you and the public that the Integrated Resource Plan is on our website. This is a plan that was mandated by the Energy Policy of 1992. This act required all Western Area Power Administration customers to submit an Integrated Resource Plan, otherwise known as an IRP, to WAPA every 5 years. This requirement includes in WAPA's power sales contracts with long-term firm customer service. WAPA has identified the following criteria for customers' IRPs. It would identify and compare all practical energy efficiencies and energy supply resources options, include an action plan with timing set by customers, describe efforts to minimize adverse environmental effects of new resource acquisitions, provide ample opportunity for public participation, conduct load forecasting, include a brief description of measurement strategies for options identified in the RFP to determine whether objectives are being met. So this is just letting people know that it is on our website. It is a lengthy document, about 230 pages, laying out our future, and it was supplied by us by MEAN. So MEAN, our wholesale power provider, is actually the one that submits it on all their members' behalf, and that's the way WAPA likes it done. So we just encourage citizens to read it and provide comments back to MEAN before May 14, 2022 with any comments, and we'll put those into the final form and submit them to WAPA. Any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other comments from the public? Anybody wish to speak to anything that's not otherwise on the agenda? Seeing none, we'll move to item number 4, second reading of ordinance number 1835, application rezoning.
You can talk to this.
Do you want me to talk to it?
Sure.
Yes.
They have a representative here.
We have another Ramirez.
Yes, I'm Autumn Ramirez, and I'm representing Melissa and Alexander Ramirez, and they are rezoning their property out over by Points West.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah.
Piece back behind Points West.
It's a blue bus.
Correct.
Blue bus, yeah, that's the one.
Okay. Staff, have we had any questions, comments?
We haven't had any complaints.
Nothing.
Nobody had a problem with the planning commission either. That went through that pretty good.
Okay. And they were planning on building there?
Yes, an orchard and stuff like that, yep. Greenscape.
Okay. This is the second reading, and I don't remember if we talked about it, anything being in the essence of time, or any,
I don't think they were in a gigantic hurry when they.
I thought we talked about that. But, okay.
Probably do it either way.
And you read it by title? Did I ask you to read it by title?
Not yet. I read it by title last. Right,
Yes,
yeah,
but
but
until
you have
we
to write
pass
now,
it, yeah.
right.
So I should have started there. Ask the clerk to read it by title.
An ordinance providing for the rezoning of a tract of land, Section 8, Township 13, Range 49, part of northeast quarter, north of the east-west access road lands inside and commonly known as parcel 170074218 from C3 commercial to A agricultural, amending the Sydney zoning code and zoning map of the city of Sydney, Nebraska, adopted by ordinance number 1835 of the city of Sydney, Nebraska, which is now codified as Title 6 of Part 12 of the codified ordinances of the city of Sydney, Nebraska, to so provide, and repealing all ordinance or parts of ordinance in direct conflict herewith.
Thank you. We've heard from parties representation. Anybody else present have any comments on that rezoning? Council have any questions? So that constitutes a second reading at ordinance 1835. We can either move that to third reading or move to suspend the third reading.
I move we suspend the third reading. I'll second that.
Motion by Sherman, second by Radcliffe to suspend the third reading. Roll call.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
No.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Motion passes 4 in favor, 1 against. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
That was to
Yeah.
Yep.
suspend the third reading.
Now suspend the third reading, yeah. So now I need a motion to pass ordinance 1835.
So,
Motion by Radcliffe, second by Sherman. Roll call.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Motion, sorry, did we get everybody? No, Sherman.
Sherman?
I'll let him vote.
Yes. Thank you, Roger.
Motion passes 5 in favor, 0 against. Ask clerk to read the ordinance by number.
1835.
And lastly, I would ask for a motion to publish ordinance 1835.
So,
Motion by Sherman,
Second.
second by Elwanger. Roll call.
Radcliffe?
yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes. Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Item number 5, rate adjustments. We've been talking about these for a while, and they all kind of run hand in hand with the water debt rate assessment, the wastewater treatment facility debt rate assessment, and the sewer rate assessment. Anything new to add to that from staff?
I don't really have anything, I guess, unless you guys have some questions for me. The memo that's with it is the same thing that was last week, a little bit of verbiage changed, but that's, I think we've gone over it enough now, unless you guys have some other questions for me.
Any questions for staff? Because I'll probably ask the clerk to read all 3 of these together, and we'll just do them at the same time. So if you have any questions on any 3 of the ordinances, go ahead and ask now. Okay, seeing none, let's ask the clerk to read all 3 ordinances, 1832, 1833, and 1834 by title.
Ordinance 1832, an ordinance of the City of Sydney, Nebraska to amend Section 1042.01A, 2004 and 2015 Water Project Debt Assessment of Chapter 1042 Water of Title 4 Utilities of Part 10 Streets, Utilities and Public Services Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Sydney 1977 to reduce the water project debt assessment, to repeal any other ordinance or part of ordinance in conflict with provisions therewith, and to provide for an effective date of this ordinance. Ordinance number 1833, an ordinance of the City of Sydney, Nebraska to amend Chapter 1045 Sewer and Private Disposal Systems of Title 4 Utilities of Part 10 Streets, Utilities and Public Services Code of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Sydney 1977 to provide for a wastewater treatment facility project debt assessment by adding sections 1045 .36-2009 wastewater treatment facility project debt assessment, to repeal any other ordinance or part of ordinance in conflict with the provisions therewith, and to provide for an effective date of this ordinance. Ordinance number 1834. An ordinance of the City of Sydney, Nebraska to amend Section 1045.31 charges of Chapter 1045 sewer and private disposal systems of Title IV utilities of Part 10 streets, utilities, and public services code of the codified ordinances of the City of Sydney, 1977, to provide for a different monthly base charge for yearly usage of sewers and private disposal systems, to provide for a sewer debt assessment, to repeal any other ordinance or part of ordinance in conflict with provisions therewith, and to provide for an effective date of this ordinance.
All right, thank you. So that constitutes a third reading for ordinances 1832, water debt rate assessment 1833, wastewater treatment facility debt rate assessment 1834, sewer rate assessment. Could I have a motion to pass those as a group? Motion by Olson, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Elmeyer, roll call.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwanger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Motion passes 5 in favor, 0 against. Is there a motion to pass ordinances 1832, 1833, or publish 1832, 1833, 1834?
Did you want it to be pamphlet form?
In pamphlet form, yes. Yeah, thank you. I skipped my notes. Motion by Olson,
Second.
second by Radcliffe. So motion to publish by pamphlet form, roll call.
Elwanger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Continue on with that, as part of that, we had another piece that was a resolution, Resolution 2022-0302 regarding the landfill rate assessment. Anything to add to that from staff?
No, I don't have anything. I don't
Okay.
have any questions.
Anybody else have any questions on that? Seeing none, is there a motion to pass Resolution 2022-0302? Motion by Sherman,
Second.
second by Radcliffe, roll call.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwanger?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. All right, thank you. Item number 6, consideration of appointment and reappointment to Planning Commission, action as needed.
We had 3 planning commission members' terms ending, and we also still had an empty seat that we've had for a while now. I believe since it was probably maybe John Phillips might have been the last person to hold that seat. So we did advertise, like the code says, through the Sydney Sun-Telegraph, and we did get the 3 current members wanting to re-up for their positions, which are Matt Benzel, Caleb Sweetser, and John Glenn. And we also received an application from Ten Stittler, who is also here tonight, to fill the open seat on the Planning Commission. Mr. Sittler also holds a seat on our Economic Development Advisory Committee and is the community president for Platte Valley Bank. If appointed, Mr. Sittler's term would expire on June 1st, 2024, which is a little bit different than the others, so you might want to do these separate from the reappointments. The other 3, Mr. Benzel, Mr. Sweetser, and Mr. Glenn's terms, if reappointed, would expire on June 1st, 2025. So
Okay.
I don't know if you want to do the appointments separate from the.
I think we probably will.
And did you want to say anything to it or no?
Was there any questions for me?
Do you have questions for me?
No. I did want to ask council quick, though, is, Jay, is there any conflict being on Citizens Economic Advisory Council?
I don't believe so, because it's an advisory, not one that actually makes a vote, but I will do some checking. Now, you can appoint, and if there's an issue, I'll contact David, and we'll
Okay.
have it
That was
back in
my
front of
only-
you. I didn't,
I
I
think
just
there's
made a note of
overlap.
that as you were saying it, because I'm concerned as well.
Well, there is an overlap on that between city councilmen and being on the Economic Development Board. I don't know about this case.
Right, so,
Yeah, it would be 2 different kind of decisions. Yeah, and one's an advisory committee.
right, and
I just didn't
advisory
know-
has,
Yeah. I
but
didn't
we
know
need
if
to be sure that it
one
doesn't
could-
conflict.
One could unduly influence the other,
Right.
or vice versa, or,
yeah.
I just wanted to ask the question. Okay. So we'll let you look into that, and if it's an issue, we can address it again at that time. Any questions or comments for staff on the reappointments of Matt Benzel, Caleb Sweetser, John Glenn? If not, could I have a motion for the reappointments of those terms on the planning commission? Motion by Radcliffe, second by Sherman. Roll call, he was close.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe? Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Any questions or comments on a new appointment of Ted Sintler to the planning commission? If not, could I have a motion for that appointment?
So moved.
Motion by Olson, second by Radcliffe. Roll call.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes. Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Welcome to the commission, and appreciate your willingness to serve. Item number 7, consideration of appointment to tree board. Tom?
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council. Tree Board appointments. The Tree Board consists of 5 members that serve 3-year terms. Tonight, Taz Urig is reapplying, Don Ogle reapplying, Steve Waller has joined us tonight. He is looking to fill the open seat. He would have that for 1 year, and then he'd be back to reapply just to keep the cycle of the seat the same. As I say, Taz and Don have reapplied and have been with Taz since 2017 and Don since 2016. Ryan Reisdorf is the other one, and he's been on the board since 2011. The park superintendent, myself, is the member who's on permanently with the tree board, as involved as we are with park and city street trees. So our recommendation would be to reappoint Taz and Don, and for the open seat, we would like to fill that with Steve Waller, and that for the open term until April 24th, 2023. Steve has been with the City Parks Department since 2001. He does a lot of our tree work, passionate about the outdoors, and so excited to have someone interested like that. So.
Okay. Any questions for Tom or Steve, since we have him here? No? Okay. Let's go ahead and do the reappointments first then. Is there a motion to reappoint terms on the tree board of Don Ogle and Taz Urig? Motion by Elwinger, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Olson, roll call.
Olson?
Yes.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. Is there a motion for an appointment of Steve Waller to the tree board? Motion by Radcliffe, second by Sherman, roll call.
Elwinger?
Yes.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe? Olson?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Consideration, number 8, of Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund grant application.
Yeah, this is, Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund was established in 1996, Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Act. The city completed, as you know, in August of 2011, a housing study. The housing study assisted in the completion of the NATHF grant application and will continue to utilize for future applications, and there will be others. The city is applying for funds to the home buyer category for the construction of new single-family homes. There's about 4 or 5 different categories you can apply to through this program. We decided to go for the new single-family homes. The initial $600,000, which is, we're asking for the full amount that we can get, $500,000 with a $100,000 match. So the full $600,000 in funds would be utilized to build 2 new single-family homes, or at least we're hoping it will be enough to. The city applied for the $500,000 with a matching fund, like I said, of $100,000 from the general fund. We did reevaluate our LB 840 plan to be able to use it for these kind of things. But I'm kind of holding out for the revolving, which is a completely different thing, the Rural Workforce Housing Fund, which is more of the revolving kind of type fund. I'm holding out to use our LB 840 money for that because the Nebraska Community Foundation has said they would match that if we did. But they did not have any interest in this. This is more of a build and done kind of thing. You're done in a few years. And they were interested more in contributing to something that was more like the Rural Workforce Housing Fund, where it would be a revolving thing that would go on for, years and years. So that's why I was holding out the match from the LB 840 for that grant rather than this one, and just kind of seeing if the council would be interested in using general fund.
Okay. Questions for David?
So we're requesting $500,000.
Yep.
600,000, wasn't
We're
it?
requesting $500,000 with a 100,000 match, yeah. So, hopefully that's enough for them. That's what our application will have on it, though. You don't even have to require a match at all, and you can ask for the money, but you're stronger if you put some money with it.
So it's 100,000 from the general fund?
Yep, yes. Just so it looks like we're putting some, I didn't want to just ask for it without putting any kind of match. I didn't think we'd get past the first stage. We did get past the pre-application, by the way, and we're in the final stage now, so that's good. We made it through the first hurdle.
So what can we expect for 2 homes?
Well, we're hoping to be able to build 2 homes with this money, but there are a lot of expenses. There's going to be procurement of land, the building of the house. We also have a small down payment assistance built in for, I think, $5,000 for each of the home buyers. There are different ways to do it. You can designate it as income, you can designate it as age, or you can designate it as first come, first serve. The way we're submitting our grant is first come, first serve, because we didn't want to eliminate anybody that might be in the program and look like we're picking favorites. If we would have designated it to a specific category, we could have gotten several applications from people, and then you're kind of picking and choosing. We thought first come, first serve was the best method, so that's what we put in our grant.
So what happens after the grant is awarded? What's the next process?
After the grant is awarded, then the city, in our grant, the city will act as the developer, not the builder, but as the developer. That way we get an extra amount of money too. They'll give us an extra, I think, $25,000, which would normally go towards your developer, but if I act as the developer, which I will, it gives us a little bit of bonus too for a little bit of extra money. And then we will start searching for a builder to build these homes. There are several areas we can put them. Probably in the subdivision back behind Lodgepole Creek Apartments might be the most logical one. The large one that everybody thinks of that first comes to mind, the Cabela's one there that has the 4 houses, is more of an all or nothing kind of thing with Bass Pro. So we're looking at different options for that. But we thought this would be a better place for something like this. They're not, they've made it clear they want all in or all out, so, yeah.
So we get the grant, we build 2 houses, we sell 2 houses, money from that then goes back to,
No, this isn't a revolving thing. This would just be, they give you the money and you spend it and then it's done. You can't loan it out like the other, it's not like the Rural Workforce Housing Fund where
but we sell the
Trade.
houses and the money just goes back to the general fund?
it would go back to, well, they're going to give us the money, so once we sell it, they're going to pay for it
What about the 100,000?
with the grant money. Well, our $100,000 we'll have to pay up, but there is no, the only money that will come back to us is the money that the $25,000 we get for being developer. Mm-mm. Nope. They're basically giving you 5 to 1.
But we get our 100,000 back?
No, we're gonna spend all 600,000.
But somebody's buying those houses.
Right, somebody's gonna buy those
So
houses.
then where's that money go?
The money that we used to, well, we're gonna build them, it'll go back to them, yes, I'm sorry, yes, it'll go back to them. Correct, I'm sorry about that, yep. misunderstanding what you were saying.
Whatever fund this is, we get paid back their 500,000.
Correct.
So they recoup, hopefully, potentially the 500,000.
There's a
or
lot
more.
of different ways to do
Or
it.
more.
No, it wouldn't be more.
It's gotta go somewhere.
It goes through the AMI, like they have to have at least 120%, so your income can't be super high. Yeah, they're gonna do it. I haven't seen that process yet. We're still applying for to even get the money.
So potentially the state can recoup their money or more, depending on the
I
houses
don't
sold
think they'll
for.
get more, but yeah.
But we don't recover our 100,000.
We would, yeah, I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question earlier. We would recover ours, of course, yes. As would they. I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you were saying earlier.
Okay.
A lot of cities have been really successful with this program. It's our first time applying, so, hopefully we'll make it through, but it's a very complicated process, and the cities that have done it over and over again are quite good at it, but, and very stingy about showing you what they put in their applications because they know they're very good at it. So we didn't get a whole lot of help from examples, but we did make through the pre-application stage, so that was good news.
And this is the standard size of the grant application?
It's the max we can ask for.
So
But to be honest with you, can you even build 2 houses for that kind of money? And they're even questioning that now. So,
Well, that was my question with the supply chain.
Right.
Inflation.
I'm having a hard time getting answers out of that if we would only build one or couldn't afford to build one. I think the answer I'm getting is they would move forward with what you could do. But they're still trying to answer all those questions right now.
And then unused funds would go back,
Right.
except maybe not ours.
I don't know. Trying to think, has any local people going to get bent out of shape over this because we're doing this?
I don't-
Contractor can still come back.
I don't know why. It would be business for somebody, And, it'd be business for a contractor that would want to come and build these houses. So
I can't imagine we're building at a discount.
I don't think anybody can right now,
Where it would be offensive to,
The only advantage to a developer is that you have the money in your hand. They know they're going to get paid. They know you've already went through this application process, you have your buyer, they know they're going to sell this no matter what. That's the incentive to them. There's no way they can lose. If they build it, they're going to sell it.
just provides a little more assurance.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about sitting on the holding costs trying to sell the thing. And I am still working on the Rural Workforce Housing Fund. I'll probably be bringing maybe at the next meeting or at the very latest, the one after that, our Rural Workforce Housing Investment Plan for you guys to take a look at.
And these actions are your response to the housing survey we took?
Yes. Yeah. And we know housing is an issue. It is all across America, and I want to use everything that everybody else is using, but I also want to try to think outside the box too. So we'll be talking about some of those other revolving fund options coming up soon. I didn't think you could go wrong with 5-1 though.
So we get the grant, we proceed. How do we determine what we're building? With the builder?
Well, we've already determined it would be single-family homes, so we can't, can't change it to like an apartment house or anything like that. It'd have to
But
be a
who's going to
single-family.
figure out whether it's a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
Oh, we decide that, and we did put it would be anywhere from 2 to 3 in our application, because we know that we might not have enough to do 3, so,
So when it comes to selling this, first come, first served?
Is what, for the application process, yeah, that's what we put in our application, is first come, first serve.
But if you have multiple offers, do you consider them on the strength of the offers? Or does,
We could have done it that way, but I really didn't want it to look like we as the city were picking and choosing, well, we like this person better than that person, or, So that's why we kind of just, I thought about it, I did think about it, and I really thought first come, first serve is the safest option. Doesn't make it look like we're trying to sway one way or the other. And if we're approved, I'll have to bring it back to you anyway. If they actually grant it to us, I'll have to bring it back for you guys to accept the grant. So, and then hopefully then I would have more information about how the application process would work.
Do you know what the criteria is for them granting to us?
For us to be accepted?
Yeah.
It's really vague. We know what we need to put in the application. I mean, they give us the application that we fill out, so we know, I knew what I needed to answer, and I knew what they wanted on the application, but as far as trying to compare yourself to other people and see how they filled it out, I tried reaching out to a few of them, and I can't get them to tell me anything, They're people that are successful at this kind of keep it to themselves,
The league doesn't,
I tried getting through them too. The only thing I was able to get was a sample of a couple budgets that people had done on their application through PAD. I tried the league too, yeah. You always want to get as much information as you can for what's been successful in the past, but
do we
that's
know
why.
any other western Nebraska municipalities that have been participating?
Who else has done this before? I want to say North Platte has done it. I know North Platte has. I don't know of any others this far out. I don't know. But I know North Platte has used it.
Any other questions for David on this?
Sorry, I misunderstood your question earlier. I was not thinking the right way.
So this is just consideration for proceeding with the application.
Correct.
On the Nebraska Affordable Housing Trust Fund grant. So if we'd like him to proceed with the application, I would need a motion as such.
So moved.
Motion by Rad, second by Sherman, roll call.
Sherman?
Yes.
Galloway?
Yes.
Radcliffe?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Delwinger?
Yes.
Motion carries 5 in favor, 0 against, and as you hear more, we'll hear more.
I will let you know more. Yep. And now what you've been waiting for, huh?
Best for last. We're running a little early, so I figured I'd really talk slow, make sure I take my time with this. I want to make sure everyone understands. I'm happy you're here, Marva. This is my first, usually I say hello, gentlemen, but now I get to say everyone. So that's awesome.
Sounds sexist.
No, not at all. I'm glad she's here. It's great. Representation is important. So I sent my report over. You guys have that, but per the usual, I'm just going to work off my little one-pager, so if there's anything in the report you have specific questions about, just let me know. I've mentioned this before, but we've really been trying to hone in on our social media accounts. We find a lot of our members are there, a lot of the community is there, and all the stats are showing that those are growing quite a bit, which is awesome. Not everyone cares about those, but it is important. If those numbers are going up for us, that means we're creating more exposure. We've been really trying to push out information about our members on there with special days where we feature them and tell our community more about them. It's been great for us to learn more and also to showcase them to the community, so that's been great. Some of our members don't have websites or Google listings or social media, so it's been a great way for them to use us as an extension. And those specific stats are in there, but we're seeing continuous growth there. The other thing outside of growth that we're seeing on there is engagement, which I think is awesome. The community is engaging with us, we're engaging back, they're engaging with our members, which has been nice, and I think we've been able to put more out there and people are coming to us for more information now. Our website's under a little bit of construction, so as you notice, you don't have those analytics again this time, but I'm working on getting that closed out and making sure we resolve that issue. But we are updating our customer relations management tool, which is what creates our calendar, our deals page, our directory, a lot of the pages you see on our website. A lot of the pages that we're trying to link people to often are run through that, and we're going to be switching that to all the functionality staying the same or being improved. It just looks better and will be easier for our members to use, so we're really excited for that. We look at that'll close out in the next 6 to 8 weeks, implementing that into our system, and then we have to do some manual entries for members, but that'll be a great addition to our website, and I believe that will relieve our analytics issue, so you guys will be able to see what that's looking like as well the next time someone is here. Our email campaigns are also growing, which is awesome. We send out a lot of our events or like community news, member news through those emails, and those open rates are going up, and we have gotten 50 new subscribers over the last quarter. So that's awesome because that's a big way of how we're letting the community know about what's going on. And also our members are able to use that as well. So if they don't have that capability, we have a mass list of people that we can send their information out to. So if you don't get those emails, let me know. We can put you on there. Again, this is just important to get our members out to a larger audience, more diverse, because some of them are not doing that on their own. So it's nice to have us as an expander for them. The other big thing that we've done is our Cheyenne County card, and I briefly spoke about this to you guys previously when I was here, but it's officially launched, so it has its own page on our website. Now if you want to order previously known chamber bucks, you can do it without even having to call the chamber and wait for me to print checks. I always love when SRMC calls because it's always a lot of them, and I'm like, you're going to need to give me 24 hours. Now that alleviates this issue, so you can do it completely digitally. The cards are delivered through email, text. You can also print them if needed. It's a great way just to make it a little bit more streamlined, simple, and available to everyone. Again, I mentioned this briefly when I was here last time, but the cool thing about this program is with the previous Chamber Bucks program, they were checks. They could literally be spent anywhere. We could never trace back at the end of the day where they were going, where they were being spent. We couldn't guarantee the money was being spent locally. These cards will actually decline, like if someone tries to use it in Lincoln at Walmart, it will decline because it's only people that I put in our system. So I can turn people on and off as we see fit, add them in, take them out, which is awesome. The other great part about that you guys will more than likely see in the future is it has a really strong reporting system as well. So once people start spending those and using them, it'll actually break it down into industry. I can tell you that 90% of the money is being spent in retail or in restaurants and things like that. So the reports will be really great. That official launch for that card, we've been soft launching it, getting businesses signed up. We have about 20 businesses currently on that list, which includes the majority of our retail businesses, which is usually where we see those cards being used. They're on there, but the official big launch of it is Girls Day Out, which is this Saturday. So if you guys like to shop or want to send your ladies out, this Saturday is our Girls Day Out event. And that's kind of when we're pushing it. The prizes for people that finish it will be those gift cards for people to spend locally. So it's been a big push. It's been kind of an adjustment. It being digital, it's totally different. Some of our users aren't used to buying them that way, or our businesses aren't used to running cards that way. So we've spent quite a bit of time working with businesses on how to transition into that. But I think it'll be great. Myself and my assistant went to training in Hastings in April with the rest of the Nebraska State Chambers, and a lot of chambers. 3 of us have made the transition to digital cards, but essentially everyone in the room was looking to make that transition. So that was kind of a relief to know we were ahead of the game on that one, and it was exciting for me anyways. And then at that training, again, it was great. I got to also take my assistant Symphony, so if you haven't met her, that was a great experience. She got to learn a lot. And it was a relief just to hear a lot of the chambers were all struggling with the same thing as David mentioned. We're all talking about housing, all talking about employment, childcare, those things. So it was nice to know we're not alone in our community. Everyone's kind of going through the same thing. As I previously mentioned, we're working on our CRM tool, so our website will be updated hopefully sooner rather than later, and I'll keep you guys updated on that as long as I possibly can. But quarter one has been a lot of planning, a lot of events for us. So at the beginning of the year, we did annual banquet. Some of you were there, so thank you for coming to that. Marva got a lovely award if you weren't there. But it was awesome. We got to recognize 15 businesses / individuals. That's always a good aha moment in the community to see all of the work that people are doing. Then in February, we partnered with WNCC, and we did a internship and job fair, which was awesome. I've done some job fairs in the past, and sometimes the turnout isn't always great, but it really was awesome. We did it at the community center. There was a good foot traffic, and there were also some businesses there that I had never seen at our job fairs before, so that was really awesome. Hopefully, people got some people hired. And then in March, we did our first business after hours event at the Elks, which was great. That's been highly requested, not only just within the chamber, but from the community. People really want to get out and start networking. So we look to continue those and work with businesses on getting people. The great thing about those is it's networking, but it also gets people in the doors of places they may not go. For instance, tonight at the insurance store, they hosted an event for a retirement. We considered it an open house after hours event. Some people may never go into there, but they went for a networking event. Maybe they'll stay and get some insurance. So it's just a great opportunity to do those. Our Leadership Cheyenne County class was in full swing. They're about 80% done with their class. They actually just hosted their project, and it was a nonprofit expo, if you saw anything about that. It was a great success. We have about 15 participants in that class right now. Each year they're tasked with coming up with a project to complete, and it's totally up to their choice It just has to give back to the community, essentially. And so this year they chose to help out the nonprofits. The goal was really to get them some exposure. So they invited nonprofits to come and set up a table. They didn't have to do any of the marketing. They didn't have to do any of the planning. They just had to show up, tell people what they do. And then they collected silent auction items. And the process was if you bid on something and you won it, you got to choose where your money was going. So that night they actually raised $4,000 that was immediately donated right back to nonprofits of their choice. So it was really exciting. It was a great turnout, and it's typically just a one-year project, but the nonprofits, the people that hosted it, everyone recommended that it continues. So the Chamber's looking forward to continuing that the best we can in the future. And as I mentioned, Girls' Day Out is the 30th, so that's coming up. We've been planning a lot for that. As always, our businesses are showing up. There's 15 businesses on our punch card. Numerous businesses are just open doing special deals. We have like over 30 businesses donating to our swag bags. So it'll be a great event, just encouraging people to get in, not even just downtown, it goes all the way out to the hill as well, but just shopping local and supporting our local businesses. We do have all of our downtown sounds scheduled, so if you haven't peeked at those, make sure you do. We have our community calendar. As a reminder, we can add things, you can add things, everyone can add things to our calendar, so we're trying to really make sure people are adding to that. We follow the radio, so we try to match ours up with theirs. So those are all on there, but for record, they're June 10th, July 8th, and August 5th. We do have the first band booked and announced, and that'll be Luke Mills and Dylan Bloom. Luke Mills was a great success last year. He really loves Sydney, so he asked to come back, and then he's bringing another band with him as well. And so we're super excited for those. And then lastly, for those of you who didn't see, I put in my resignation, my 30-day resignation on last Tuesday. So my last day at the Chamber will be May 17th. And I'm just going out to start my own business. So I'll be doing my photography full time, which is a great testament to our community that I'm even able to do that, honestly. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys, if you have any questions.
And for anybody interested in the Girls' Day Out, who do they contact, where do they go?
Me, you can call the Chamber, 308-254-5851, or our social media. We have an event on Facebook. That's where we've been posting the schedule, and people, anyone that's involved is invited on that page, so we have lots of businesses that are posting their special deals and whatnot on there as well.
All right, just so everybody knows where to go to get
Yeah,
started.
come shop. And the day is being started off with breakfast at the Elks. Rumored Bloody Marys and mimosas as well, so, and that's open to the community. So guys, you can come have breakfast and then send the ladies off to shop. Just saying.
Who's cooking that breakfast?
I don't know if our bacon boy's gonna be around.
As long as you're there, Rob,
I'll be there.
it'll be good then.
It is, it's gonna be great.
Well, if there was a guys' night out, I might think about it.
You know, I think it could be an everyone type of thing. I would let you shop that day, Roger.
Sexist, anti,
Having a Bloody Mary.
We do 2 shopping events a year. The other one's called Stronger Together, that's for everyone. But you can shop. I would let you get a bag, Roger. I will allow that. If you want to go spend money in the community, I will allow that.
no.
I'm sure you can find a gift for your daughter.
He's welcome.
Quick while you're ahead.
I'll just change the marketing to ladies and Roger, day out.
That's not gonna go over well.
Day out with Roger.
Yeah, maybe this is an event idea.
I think they're trying to encourage participation. So we'll,
These are ideas, I'm taking
probably
notes.
best leave it at that. Okay, well, excited to hear all that, excited for the upcoming events, excited for the downtown sounds, and congratulations, good luck on your new business.
Thank you.
Any other
Anyone
questions
else?
before you let her go? Last chance, all in, all done? Somebody got it.
I'm not even gonna get picked on. I won't be back. Someone, anyone.
Is Joe here anywhere? No.
Well, we
Yeah, can we phone him?
we certainly appreciate all your hard work and the
Thank you.
short time you've been there. I think you've made some big differences.
10 months.
Hmm?
That's a long time. 10 months.
Not 30 years.
Yeah.
You're no city clerk. I mean, that's-
Hey,
no, I-
can't all be them.
I know, I seriously want to thank you
Yeah.
for all you've done. There's a lot of improvements that have been made. And wasn't there something about how long does a 10-minute drive take, or a 10-mile drive take over here?
Yeah. If you didn't see our ad, I've been working in E3 with David, and there was a conversation one day about paying points in the city and traffic and how we could turn that into a benefit. So our Facebook ad this time was Sydney, Nebraska. When a 10-mile drive means 10 minutes. So that was was our thing, which is silly, but it was funny. And we actually had a lot of people from, because obviously we market it outside of the county. So we had a lot of people from Denver be like, I miss that. I miss seeing the sky. And so that was cool, that our point got across, which was nice.
Yeah.
But I think I'm super hopeful for the chamber. We've gotten great momentum. There's a lot of updates that have been made, and we'll be all finished out by the time I leave. So I think going in the total right direction, and I have full faith that it'll be great there. So.
Well, I would agree with Brad. I think you've had a very positive effect on the chamber, and we certainly hope that that will continue.
Yeah, you're not getting rid of me. I'll be at council meetings.
Okay.
Not gone yet.
Lighting committee meeting.
Yeah, there you go. I still have an indefinite, I have a meeting on that day. I can't come.
Well, we're moving.
Love that. I have a meeting every day.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 10, city manager's report.
I do have quite a few things. First of all, I don't know if you noticed, the lights are up at the outdoor basketball court now. We're still programmed, they should be up and running.
Yeah, they'll
The lights
be
are,
operational in a few days probably.
we're just programming them now to make sure, they go off when the park's closed and like that, but they are up.
Are those going to be on the same system as the ball fields?
Be on the same
Like a
system
tennis
as the
court.
tennis courts, so there'll be a push button.
Okay.
They'll stay on for
For
like
some
30
period of
minutes.
time and then,
But
Yeah.
then not go on at all after a certain time at night.
gotcha, okay. Operating within timers. And-
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like a warning, you get 2-minute warnings, taking a shot, game-winning shot, lights.
I don't believe there's a horn or anything like that programmed into it.
Just keep hitting the button, have somebody hit the button.
That's your new job.
It's going to cut you off.
Stand off the button so it
11 or-
keeps going.
Well, here's the deal, exercise is overrated. I just, for the other people who might be around.
It does not take quarters.
I'm not sure that's a good campaign position.
That's true.
But, yeah. What else, Dave?
Also, Lane and I sat in on the county's negotiations for the Bass Pro property tax appeal for their 2019 and 20 property tax appeals for their buildings in town, and I thought it went fairly well. I think they finally understand us now when we try to talk about TIF and how it's not really helping them, what they're doing. I think there finally might have been a couple people on that call that, oh, yeah, why are we doing this? They're finally starting to get it. And so they table both of, or all the two that have the TIF on them until they do some more research. So I think we kind of are finally getting somebody to listen to us, which is good. Also, we've started work on our new interlocal agreement with the SPNRD. So look forward to something like that coming to you soon as we get all our details hashed out and what we want to have in there and what we want to call the group. We should have a land sale agreement at the next meeting for Table of Grace. I think we finally got that. Contract was kind of long and drawn out, but we finally got the agreement kind of worked out with them on that.
We're
so.
waiting on their signature from Table
Yep,
of Grace, and
yep.
the ordinance is in your inbox.
Right, yep. I was going to ask you about that. I'll go talk to her tomorrow. And then I want to remind everybody, tomorrow night at the high school auditorium is the Ground-Based Strategic Deterrent, or Sentinel program, town hall for the missile silo project. That's tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the school auditorium. So mark your calendars for that. Every property tax owner in Cheyenne County that has questions should go to that.
Who will be there?
There'll be some military people there, and there'll also be people from Northrop. So they'll both be there, just like they were at the thing at Applebee's. So it'll be a good group, and I think that some questions will probably be answered about how they're going to do things. Mostly what people want to know, like farmers have questions about, what do I do if they're going to come through my land? How am I going to be reimbursed? And things like that. So they will answer those types of questions to people. And so it'll be good information for pretty much anybody that owns property in the county. And also a reminder for May 3rd, breakfast on the Boss. If you want to come and have breakfast with city staff over at the fire hall, council members are invited.
Is that, what day is the week is that?
May
Tuesday?
3rd.
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yep, Tuesday. The non-council Tuesday. Non-council meeting Tuesday.
You got Rob cooking that too?
I think he might be. And then Rob does a good job, And then the only other thing we had coming up in our use of city property was CASA Plains Casa is doing their super hero 5K run walk on May 7th, so if you see that rolling around town, that's what's going on with that. And the last thing I had was, I have 2 awards I want to give out. Now, these awards don't have any kind of plaque or trophy or even money or anything that go with them, other than my respect and admiration is what you get for these awards. But I'm going to call them the City Manager Lumberjack of the Day Award. I went to Tom's Tree Giveaway Saturday morning, and it was about 60-mile-an-hour wind, and it felt like about 10 degrees out there right now. I mean, it was brutal, it really was. And I don't know the troop number of the Girl Scouts that showed up.
10305.
Oh, wow, okay, 10305. So shout out to them, they get my first Lumberjack of the Day award. Those girls were out there trying to plant this 50-foot tall tree in this gale force wind, and I mean, it was all I could do to stand there and keep from freezing to death, and they were digging their hands in the cold dirt, and not one complaint. Not, you know, most kids, I want to go back inside, or I want to go to the car. I mean, nothing. They did a fantastic job, so they get my first Lumberjack of the Day award. And the second one goes to a council member. Councilman Burke Radcliffe showed up at the event and actually stood out for the tree presentation in the freezing cold with the rest of us, and then got his tree. But what I found out was he had walked there that day in the early morning when it was probably even colder than that, like 20 degrees, and he walked over to this thing instead of driving like, you know, the rest of us. Stood out in the cold for the whole tree presentation, and then grabbed his tree and carried it home into the gale force at 60 miles. I said, do you need a ride? No, I got it. Trying to walk uphill, and so he gets my second Lumberjack of the Day award.
Halfway home, I almost planted the tree right there.
Or just face planted right here. I'm exhausted. So anyway, that's all I had.
Okay, thank you. Chief, anything for the, no. Michael, anything else? McKaylee, one last chance.
I will miss you guys so much.
All right. Well, best of luck to you in the future. Colonel?
Nothing.
Nothing. Lane? Todd here, he's got something important. No? Tom, anything else with the parks?
2 things. I want to thank Burke and Marvin and David for coming out to the tree giveaway. It was great to have somebody to hand the flag to and get a picture with the Girl Scouts and that. And then the second thing, City Parks is still looking for 3 to 4 young people to help us at the parks. We've got great interest in lifeguarding, and that's getting covered real well. But we need about 3 or 4 more 18-year-olds and above, so seniors pretty much, and young college folks. So if you rub elbows with any people in that age group, like shoot them our way, or someone who's
For a summer job.
wants a summer job. The last 2 summers we've had men in their 50s, 60s come out. They were between jobs and just wanted something for the summer, and they were great. Look forward to anybody who'd like to help us out with park projects.
Maybe a school teacher looking for this thing.
What's that?
Maybe a school teacher looking for this.
Give it down to a ball field. Mr. Rowe retired after 34 years.
That's not my fault.
So,
And then, when is the Legion Park closing for the playground? Is it closed already?
It's
It is
closed.
closed.
yeah, we cut a tree down in there today, because in the future we'll never have a chance like we did before the playground goes in. So we got that tree down, cleaned up. Steve and crew is going to stump grind it tomorrow, and then we'll level it off, and then we'll put a snow fence all the way around it until the contractor comes.
And then is some of the old equipment coming out already then?
It's all out.
It's all out.
Everything's
Okay.
out of there, yep.
Okay.
So we got it stacked out. Everything. Shout out to Dinklages and other volunteers. Many people, I think, helped Jeremy with that. And Dinklages came with their box scraper and big tractor and smoothed it out in a ½ inch of what it needed to be, so we're in good shape.
And the groundbreaking was really cool.
Yeah, yep.
That was cool.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, that's parks. Building inspecting, still inspecting buildings?
Still inspecting, looking good so far.
Okay. Council, Marva, anything?
Well, I want to wish Michaela a lot of luck. I was on the hiring committee that hired her, so I'm bummed to see her go. But I hope I will see you around town. Wishing you the best.
Okay. Brad?
Also, good luck. Glad to see that you're still here. There will be a lighting committee meeting, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, May 4th. The lighting committee is just a group of concerned citizens, not associated with the city in any way, but we want to make this city better, or brighter, one light at a time, and we are looking for volunteers probably towards the end of May, or on a Saturday. We're going to scale all these buildings and replace all the lights and have it ready for that first downtown sounds event, and go.
Okay. Bob?
Just congratulations to Bert for making it home.
I want to know, did he cut across other people's property, or? No?
He was on the sidewalk, he was out on the street.
Burke, anything for the good of the order? Myself, Burke and I sat in on annual review with the community center regarding their contract, something that we've started doing here the last couple of years. So chance for them to tell us about their programs and levels of participation, where they see things going, and any questions we had to ask of them. And so it was a very good meeting overall, I think, and very productive for both parties. And as David said, with the GBSD, the Ground-Based Strategic Deterrent meeting with the Air Force, really encourage anybody that has questions, landowners, concerns about influx of people or businesses or traffic or anything of that nature, go attend the meeting. They have great information. They were very insightful when we met with them earlier this year. So certainly can answer any questions people have regarding the upcoming project and what the timeline's going to look like, because none of this is going to happen overnight either.
No, it's a long drawn out.
Yeah. They'll start out with their ground-based surveys and some of that stuff, and then work their way up to peak production. But it's going to be a 10-year project, basically, predominantly centered out of Kimball, but we will definitely see some effects from that. Other than that, tonight, Red Raiders are competing in the Best of the West track meet as we speak, hopefully placing lots of kids up on the podium as usual. So congrats and good luck to them. And we will adjourn at 7:20.